something about just like the mindset I was in and just not wanting to be eliminated so early. I was just like, all right, it's time.
We're making a name for ourselves now. We're not just going out in the first round again.
Does get the first evasion, and there is a howl of success.
The next morning, yeah, it was a bit somber.
And it definitely felt a little weird, you know, knowing that Tim wasn't going to be competing for the rest of the week.
Tim was figuring out that he can't do everything by himself because he's all crippled and his arm was weird.
I wasn't sure how I was gonna shower or like all these things. It was just really, it's kind of funny. Like just trying to figure out how I'm gonna like go about traversing my day and get through the Airbnb and carrying around my stuff and getting back to the venue.
So it was kind of funny watching him try to do stuff. And you're like, Tim, stop! Just let us help you!
We weren't in like bad spirits at all. We felt like we really like did well and we performed our best for that match, and it was just like the outcome was what it was. We definitely felt more confident about the next two matches because Apex was obviously going to be our hardest match, and we did pretty well.
But with that, I felt like we all were able to come together even stronger and really focus on what the goal was. And it wasn't, you know, any more for ourselves. It wasn't any more for just Dexterity. It was now for Tim.
Yeah, I think we're all concerned about Tim, and from the night before. But he seemed fine. He was a true ball. We had a ton of work to do. We had 2 matches.
So the one thing was, when we were looking at our bracket, we were trying to figure out like where we wanted to be. Of course we wanted to win all of them if we could. It was an odd thing where if we lost 1 and won 2, we would end up in a harder bracket. If we lost 2 and won 1, then we would end up in an easier bracket. But I mean, at the end of the day, we're not thinking of purposefully losing, because if you purposefully lose the second one, there's not 100% chance that you're going to win the third one. Last year, a lot of people just kind of wrote us off. They didn't think that we were going to be a challenge. They didn't think that they had to try really hard, and then Olo came out and had to like step up and actually try against us. And you know, they told us that they were super surprised at what we brought. You can't judge a team by past performance or just how they look. We knew we were 1 down, and we knew we had to at least win 1 to stay in the tournament. If we lost all 3, you're kicked out. So we needed at least 1 win.
We made Aaron the official captain. He's now our captain. I'm
the official evader.
Thanks, man. That feels better.
Wait, we're gonna make sure it doesn't come down.
Yo, no double. No, because I'm not gonna be untied then.
Whoa.
Yeah. Thanks.
Bros.
Athletes ready. All right, round 2. Athletes ready. He slid so hard in the socks.
We go to the venue, we get ready for our match. It's like we have another late night match. We're like, all right, let's just like, you know, go out there and like have fun with it, like not be too serious and like have that like affect our play. But I think we probably didn't take it seriously enough.
I think the team got very cocky based on our match with Sun. The warm-up was nowhere near as good as the first day. You know, we were talking, we were kind of hanging out and stuff, but it didn't seem like we were taking the warm-up as seriously as we did the first day.
Everyone was left to warm up, and I stayed to continue to watch matches because I knew I didn't have to warm up. And I wanted to be there and support the guys, but at the same time I wanted to watch the matches and try to learn from them to then be able to help the guys with that knowledge. You know, like I think everyone was so happy with the performance with Apex that we just thought the next match was going to be easier.
We're ready. We wanted Connor to be able to have his chance. He wasn't feeling super confident against Apex, and we were a little concerned just because he's a little bit of a newer player. He didn't have experience last year on the quad, so we wanted to kind of ease him in. So we throw him in first. That's our way to ease him in.
I took warm-ups very seriously then because I was going to be the first person. I was starting as a Vader,
and I really wanted to get that first point to give us an early lead. So I was taking my CF1 was very seriously that day.
You want to talk about nightmare starts to a tournament, let's talk about Dexterity Depot. Not only were they paired up against the favourites for the Group Apex Sun and went down 2-0, but their captain and leader, Tim Dexter, dislocated his arm and had to end up in hospital. Losing a player, let alone your captain, Fernando, is going to have an effect on this team.
Absolutely, but luckily he's still in attendance here, so maybe he can give him some pointers to his teams, help them strategize, and keep that win going.
The strategy might well be a help from Tim. However, he's not going to be able to do anything on the quad to make this happen.
Versus Dexterity Depot. Chase 1. Dexterity Depot evading. Athletes ready!
Hunter on the chaser's plate for Tempest. He was a major weapon for him in their opener. He picked up 2 evasions, and you can see
I was on like crazy fast, and I was not expecting it and to chase me, and I took a turn way too wide, and it allowed him to gain a lot of ground on me, get a fairly fast tag. I mean, that's the most I can do is learn from it, learn that not to underestimate anyone no matter what.
Well, 2 evasions against SoFlo for Hunter. Can he add to that tally? We could be seeing a new star emerge in this sport. In Hunter Peyton Mendoza, Paul trying to track him down and not really finding a way to do it just now. And look how quick he is. Just when Paul thinks he might be getting a chance, Hunter just disappears. It's a cloud of dust, and that is all that Paul has managed to eat.
Paul gets evaded, which doesn't happen, which tells me, okay, this guy is somebody to not mess around with.
Well, Aaron Lucas, I was very impressed with this guy in their opening match against Apex Sun, and you can see why there.
I come on the quad and immediately get a spike. It felt like one of the coolest tags I've ever had. I came on the quad, set him up perfectly through the loading bay, dove through 2 of the bars like they weren't even there, and just before he knew it, he was tagged. And I remember him looking back at me and like, heck yeah, man. That felt like a really good start. They throw on Jeff Garrido against me, and I know it's go time. I know I need to even the playing field.
Jeff Garrido's turn to get on the quad as Aaron Lucas, who did not expend a great deal of energy in making that tag, so he should be fresh for this one. The ridge, a little jink one way, a little dance around the ridge, and he invites Jeff to follow him, and look at the way he got away through the mountain. Managed to get out of that by keeping up the speed. Wonderful technical work.
Ended up having a great chase against him. Got really close up to the mountain at one point. I knew he was tight on me, so I knew I had to cut corner immediately. If I kept going straight, he was going to hit my ankles. So that worked out in my favor. Get the evasion. We're now 1-1. They throw an Unruh against me, and we know Unruh is like their premier guy at this point.
In comes Joe for Tempest. Aaron Lucas shapes one way, shapes the other, and off he goes. And once again, we see him get through the mountain. He gets through there so quickly.
I ended up juking him at the tilted cube and almost get away from him under the mountain, but he's got a beautiful slide. He ends up getting me just in the corner of the loading bay.
Jordan Robinson comes in, looking to attack from an angle, coming in from that right-hand side. So he forces Joe to come into the open space here by the front line, but he doesn't make any use of it because now he's back where all that cover is. And a real hop into the tilted cube for the mountain, and now cross-court. And Jordan goes through the bars, but he's not there. And there's a little shimmy and a shake, and Joe Unruh gets a point for Tempest, and they go back into the lead.
Oh my goodness. So we've got Jordan trying to cut him off in the early stages of that chase, but just kept on tailing Joe Unruh right there. Joe Unruh making a fast, fantastic evasion.
1-2-1, Tempest.
In Tempest's opening game against SoFlo, they took the lead twice and were pegged back twice. You would not let them take your dog for a walk because they can't hold on to a lead. Is it going to be the same this time around? And there's all kinds of madness on the mountain. Joe Unruh hopping about from mountain to mountain like some kind of mountain goat, but the footing wasn't quite sure enough in the end.
Wow, I have never seen that back and forth evasion on top of the mountain right there, going for the tag. crumpled over there, Paul Fisher, but he luckily came back side to side, juking over there. And Joe just caught his foot up on that slide tag. There's that tag out there by that loading bay.
2-1, Tempest. Athletes ready!
20 years old, Sean Nierenberg, a newcomer to this Tempest team, and a pretty impressive one. He is tall, he is rangy, but he is not slow. And you see the burst there to make the tag under the ridge. Well, Paul isn't sure that it's been made. And again, Sean really should be continuing here just in case it's not given. But it is, it doesn't matter, but perhaps something to bear in mind for future reference.
Yeah, I saw that tag happen, but the same thing would happen in my match. With those lights aren't even on, you got to keep moving. Unless you make that tag well aware to the judges.
In comes Alex Mosley. Trying to get hold of Sean Nierenberg. Well, he's nowhere near with that dive through the loading bay, but he turns it into a scramble under the mountain. It looked like he was getting close. He's doing a lot of good work down low here, Alex Mosley. And it is down low where he gets success as he goes through those bars by the ridge.
Alex Mosley, textbook scrambler out there, using those all hands and feet quadrupedal movement all the way around. Here he is going through that ridge. Makes that tag fantastic, Alex Mosley. 2-1 Tempest.
2-1, Tempest. Athletes ready!
Well, in comes Hunter again. He really does look like a bundle of energy. He's so excited. He looks like he's got the tools to be such a weapon in this tournament, Fernando.
Man, Hunter going to be a future star player for Tempest out there doing that second tag.
Is that a fake jump? It makes like he's going to be going high, but in actual fact, he pulls out of it.
He swings his arms up as if he's going to jump up the mountain, but then he pulls it back down, goes back under.
Gets back to me, and so I know we're down 2-1, and they have Hunter Mendoza back up there. I'm like, I got this guy before. I can get him again.
Well, two newcomers to this sport who really look like they've got a lot to offer. Hunter versus Aaron. It's going to be quick, this. It is quick. But Hunter, look at the way he's going. No tag given. So he comes cross court to try and cut him away here at the front line. And Hunter shaping, and there's a dive through the bars. The lights go green.
If you look at the footage, it's dumb close. Ends up being an evasion, or they're up 3-1 at this point. At this point, I'm feeling a little discouraged, so I'm like, all right, they've got my number. I'm gonna hang back and let the rest of the team take the brunt of this and pick up where I was kind of putting up some slack.
Jordan once again, he's taking that diagonal line again, but Hunter, who likes starting in that crouch position under the mountain, gives him an option to go left or right, and he seems to have ducked out the way of that dive from Jordan Robinson. And if this turns into a race, you don't want to get in a race with this lad, because he is very, very quick, and he's too quick there, and he might be getting yet another. Oh, he banged his head! He banged his head! The lights went green, but the tag was given. Now, was it made in time? And even worse than that, he has really cracked his head. It's our old friend Admiral Smackbar. Retreat, it's a trap.
My goodness. Hunter looking like he was going to make a third evasion out there for Team Tempest. Seconds away from getting this evasion after so many interactions from Jordan. Let's see what he's got. We got a head injury over there.
Well, that'll be him out for the rest of this contest. Let's hope that that does not rule him out for future matches, because as things stand, Tempest really are looking like they could go the distance. Nicodemus's earrings flapping about in preparation for his first setting foot on the quad of this year's tournament. And it's up onto the sisters after an aborted attempt to make the tag by the lazy boy. And there's another attempt by the loading bay that doesn't come off either. Is there another chance here? Because Jordan Robinson might be getting Dexterity back into this one. He turns back on himself. Oh, now...
I make it around the corner and I see the lights go red. And I was like, wait, what? Why are the lights red? So I look back and I see everybody saying like, I see people doing this. They dispute it.
Yeah, let's check again on that replay. We're looking at slow-mo.
This might tell us a little bit more. Now, does he get enough of it? Oh, it looks like the smaller the back, there seemed to be some impact on the shirt, in which case, that is a crucial fingernail right there.
Absolutely. That shirt just a little bit too baggy, and that finger swipe got on the back of Jordan Robinson. I believe this is going to be a tag.
Tag given.
Nicodemus touched me. That's that's that. So I don't get the evasion. So now I'm furious. I'm pissed because no, not only did I give up a tag, but I also lose an evasion for the team.
Point, Tempest.
Nicodemus, team captain, starting by the ridge, and decides that discretion is the better part of valor as he heads off to the mountain. A little hop over it after a wait, and Paul does manage to get him.
Yeah, a little bit too much of a pause there on the mountain by Nicodemus. Stared at his opponent Paul for a little too long, just enough for him to get that tag right there. A little freezing too much on the top of the mountain, goes for that jump. Enough time for Paul to come around and get that tag right there by the tilted cube.
The best Dexterity can do is get back-to-back evasions from Paul Fisher here to force a sudden death chase-off, but Sean Nirenberg is looking to end it before it gets anywhere close to that, as those rangy, lanky legs just stride from platform to platform. And can he get an arm out to make the tag? Well, the little dive under the mountain doesn't work. There might be one more chance. Is there one more chance? No, there is not. And there is still a chance for Dexterity to get something out of this.
I got an evasion at the very end. That gave me some confidence because that's what I wanted to do. It was the first time I got an evasion because we had only played one game before, and we played only one game last year, so I hadn't gotten one ever. It gave me some confidence, but I didn't do it in a very strategic manner. And I remember because I was basically just running in circles like a wild man and just didn't get tagged, but there was no strategy, there was no like ducking or dodging or weaving, there was just pure sprint. And I mean, it worked, but of course I'm completely beat. I needed to get 2 in a row to send it into overtime, and I got the first one, but not the second one. And maybe I could have if I would have played smarter and had more energy left for the second one.
Evasion. Can he get one more to stop this match point from Tempest?
Tempest. Athletes ready!
I'll tell you what, you get some serious bang for your buck with this Tempest team. Their first match, they won it 3-2. It's 3-2 right now, and it might not be done yet as Joe looks to close it out. Can he get Paul? Yes, he can. He wasn't in full control for the early stages, but that move through the tilted cube was good, and it was decisive for Nando.
Paul Fisher just didn't have enough in the tank, even though he was getting close to that 20-second mark.
It will be a straight shootout for the top of the group and a quarterfinal spot with Apex Sun, and it's down to that tag made by Joe Unruh to get it done.
That defeat felt like a real defeat. We thought this was going to be like the easier of our matches.
No, I didn't think we'd have an issue with Tempest, just watching their matches from their previous years, but they had some really fast people that apparently had been training for a chase tag for a long time but had never competed. So going into the game against Tempest, I felt like there was a lot more pressure on me. I just felt like I have to now. I don't have a choice, but I have to do good. I wasn't very comfortable, and I was again a little bit too out of control. There was a lot of things I did wrong in that match particularly.
I just remember watching the matches and not, like, almost being a little disappointed.
The guys were playing very sloppy. They just were not on their game, making dumb mistakes, just running around, not paying attention to where the chaser or evader was. And
I think we just fell short of our baseline. I think we were lower than our regular baseline.
we still made the match close. I mean, we're still a good team even when we're at our worst, and we ended up losing 3-2 to Tempest. And from that point on, it was do or die. It was either we beat SoFlo and moved on, or we lost and we were out of the tournament again.
Everyone was down on themselves after that match, which was the big thing. We needed to find a way to get everyone's mind in the game and get them ready for the next match that is the make or break match.
The match was over. We go backstage. Everyone's in such low spirits, and the energy from when the day started to then, like we were at 100 and then just dive bomb. Everyone was so sad and disappointed.
I think that's one thing about our team. We have a lot of heroes on our team. Everyone wants to be the person that saves the team.
I remember sitting everyone down and just being like, and just explaining strategy and tactics and being like, look, you guys can't do this again. Like, you can't play this way. Like, if you guys lose again, we're out. Like, you have to change. You have to fix this.
I remember Tim walks up to me and he says, he said, you can't play like that. He said, you have to do better. Not everyone gets this opportunity to come out here and do something fun and cool, and I knew I needed to do something different, so yeah, I took it to heart and figured, you know what, I can do a little better than this.
So I remember, dude, after the Tempest match, because we had maybe like an hour or two before the next match, I got in some sort of mindset that ended up working out really well. The best word I can describe it is stoic. I was just like, not losing.
We needed to lose that match because it kind of corrected our mentality.
The thing with chase tag is it's a very physical sport, but it's also very mental as far as the strategy and the tactics. But if you're putting too much pressure on yourself or you're not fully in the moment, that's when mistakes will happen, and that's when you'll play poorly.
Yeah, so that kind of definitely fueled us because we were expecting to win both matches.
After that loss, and after I kind of talked to everyone, seemed like they were like, okay, we're gonna go, and just the mindset changed.
So I definitely knew against SoFlo it was our final match. If we lost against SoFlo, we were out for the rest of the tournament. No chance at Worlds, nothing like that. So I know this is going to be a very, very intense game for both teams because both teams had lost their previous two matches against Sun and Tempest. And I knew it was going to be tough. Just they kept it close against Tempest, and Tempest beat us.
We decided going into this match, we need the other players involved more, so that we're not just gas. So that Aaron and I, we don't have to carry the team. There's 3 other players.
But then right before we're about to go on, I think the thing that really turned the tide was we all kind of came in for a huddle, said something, got everyone to do like a cheer at once. And once that cheer was hit, it just seemed like the mood shifted. It felt like we were a team again. Everyone was rooting for each other, and it felt like we were ready for the match.
SoFlo, we actually were able to practice with them in Indianapolis when we were there for one of the indie meetups. So we're pretty confident for the most part.
Dexterity Depot hampered by the loss of their captain. Just 3 chasers into the entire tour.
We throw Alex in, who's master at these dives. These dive through the loading bay, through the ridge, through the tilt-a-cue, you name it, this man just penguin slides or just like threads through like it's nothing. And we knew that this was going to be a huge strategy against SoFlo.
Seth starting by the ridge, and it's Alex trying to chase him down. Seth heads off, goes over to the sisters, and Alex cuts him across. Yeah, the tag is given, but the lights haven't changed. Head ref thought the tag was made, but it's down to Alex to continue and make sure it is made. I think he's tagged him twice there. Doesn't matter, once is enough.
That was a bit of a mistake for Seth. Seth chose to wrap around to the front of the mountain instead of going around all the way to the loading bay.
Tags in that match were very good. Something about just like the mindset I was in and just not wanting to be eliminated so early. I was just like, all right, it's time.
He gave Alex that opportunity. Alex took it.
0-all.
SoFlo once again lean on one of their main men. And it's a little slip there from Raul Muniz, but it does not matter, he makes up for it. It's him and Tony Roth who've been the main guys, him and the team captain. They've leaned on them so heavily in this tournament.
You don't see Raul slowing down at all. He is not using too much energy.
To this match, the other guys did start first, and they were making their tags, and as the people were making their tags and I'm sitting back waiting for my turn, I was getting more confident because I saw the other guys on the team are actually performing too. So now I can just go out there and be relaxed because it's not all on me. I don't have to do everything.
Paul with the camouflage bandana. Doesn't work, I can still see his head. But can he see Raul Muniz? Well, he can see him and he can reach him.
call. That was a great move. He fished out his opponent from the back of the tilted cube. He made him choose to go where he wanted to go, and right in his arms.
Dexterity depot evading. 0-all.
Jonathan sets off. He'll do a lot of his work down low, but he's actually starting high here. But he's great at getting through those bars, and he keeps that pace up down low. He's small, but he's powerful. But can he make that power work for him as Paul sets off under the mountain? And surprise, surprise, when you take it down low, Jonathan Alfonseca seems to have a slight advantage.
Look, Paul was trying to stay on the outside of the quad, but look, Jonathan knew exactly what to do. You go and you regain that center control, and you find that moment to catch up.
Well, it's Alex sent in again. And maybe that's why, because he penguin slides through the tilted cube and the arms were flailing around. One of them eventually makes contact, and that's a very quick tag.
I've been seeing Alex drilling that thread. He did it perfectly. He knew what he was doing, and he full sent that tag.
Chase 6. Dexterity depot evading. 0-all.
The deadlock remains unbroken. Can that be changed by Alex? As Tony just sort of takes that real stealthy approach, but there's nothing stealthy about that as he manages to tap the shin by the looks of it. But we're going to have to carry on because it wasn't conclusive, so Tony's going to have to try and force another chance. And I think that one will count. Don't you worry about that, pal.
Do we have another Sketchy Andy here? That was incredible. Tony sending it over the right tray. He made the tag as he thought, but that wasn't enough. It wasn't clear enough, so he made it clear enough the second time.
Evading. 0-all.
One of these teams gets eliminated, and with it, we'll see the elimination of some incredible athletes. And this lad, Aaron Lucas, I think looks absolutely mustard at this sport.
Exactly. They chose the right guy to send in. Alex is like a bullet. He is fast. He is direct towards the evader.
Raul Muniz again goes in for SoFlo. As Aaron for the Pennsylvania team acknowledges he was caught out by the loading bay there.
Jeez. SoFlo likes to really use Raul. This is his third time on the quad this match, but it does not look like he's slowing down.
So I definitely knew against SoFlo it was our final match. If we lost against SoFlo, we were out for the rest of the tournament. No chance at Worlds, nothing like that. So I know this is going to be a very, very intense game for both teams because both teams had lost their previous two matches against Sun and Tempest.
Dexterity send in Connor, and look at that, launching himself off the chaser's plate. Some real energy, some real vim and vigor from Connor Altman. But Raul Muniz is in control at the moment. Comes back to center control, Connor, and it works out. That's why we talk about controlling the space, controlling the quad, and having that strategy. Don't turn it into a race around the outside.
Exactly. I trained with Connor last month. I know he's been drilling strategy. He knows that some of these evaders are just a bit more fast than him, but that does not keep him away.
Evading. 0-all.
Jonathan sent back in to try and get down Connor. Can he down him though? Well, he won't down him before he gets away under the mountain, but he will before he gets around the corner at the loading bay.
Connor wasn't sure how to deal with Jonathan. Unfortunately, he made the wrong choice. Jonathan is known for being speedy under the mountain. That is usually where he picks off the evaders.
0-all.
We've got another tense one here. It is 0-0 after 10 chases. Jordan Robinson looking to get hold of Alfonseca, and Alfonseca, who does so much good work down low, decides to vault his way through the mountain, and it doesn't work for him. Catches on that bar.
Weird choice indeed. Alfonseca goes above the bars as opposed to his consistent below. He tripped up And Jordan was right there to catch him on his mistake.
Chase 12, Dexterity Depot evading. 0 all.
We're approaching the stage now where if anybody gets an evasion, it might be the decisive moment. Tony Roth shapes one way, going around the bars, and when he does make the dive, Jordan Robinson isn't there. And he's in open space here. He's got to get some cover. He is in some cover now. Tony Roth is trying to herd him into that open space, but it does not work. And Jordan Robinson does get the first evasion. And there is a howl of success from Jordan, who gets...
Gio gets the first evasion. I think that was his first evasion of the whole match, and actually of his, professional chase tag career at this point.
Just as he hits the loading bay, the time goes. I was like really happy. Get the first evasion. I remember feeling that it's kind of like a little bit of a weight come off my shoulders, and I'm like, yes, I can evade for the team.
So to see him like fully on his knees, let out this huge scream of like just joy was like, okay, it's go time. Like we're in this.
Again, they go to Raul. Again, they ask him to perform for them. SoFlo, they trail. And he reaches out, but doesn't make contact. And Jordan looks over his shoulder, and he's just jogging here, but he's going to have to turn it on in a minute. Surely! Oh! Tap made by Raul Muniz!
I can't believe it. Raul slid through the tilted cube like there is no metal in existence. He did not touch a single thing. What a smooth move. Oh my God, this was just incredible.
Chase 14, Sofo.
Aaron was very adamant about going in, so with that kind of, certainty, we ended up putting Aaron in.
In comes Aaron to try and get Raul and preserve this lead that the Pennsylvanians have, and he does exactly that. And he points to his teammates. He has his eyes on the prize, and they have their eyes on a spot in the playoffs.
Dexterity Depot on the match point now because of what Aaron has done. Aaron used the tilted cube perfectly, juked his opponent into the opening, and took him out.
Dexterity Depot evading. Match point, Dexterity Depot.
This could wrap it up. Aaron Lucas points to the back of the quad. Is he going that way? Is he going that way? He's pointing everywhere now. He's going one way, and it's the front of the quad. Now Fonseca sets off after him. It's not the cleanest move onto the sisters, but it doesn't matter. That's a clean move through the mountain for Aaron, and he looks for his man, and he's behind him. He is still behind him. He comes through the bars, and Aaron Lucas, once again, Aaron Lucas. What a player, Dexterity.
I remember feeling so proud to lose those two matches and then come back and then win that one was big for us. Everyone showed up that match. Everyone looked so much better. They were playing smarter, which was the important thing. They were just playing smart. They were using the obstacles. They were using cover. They were cutting when they should have cut. They weren't just running.
That's how I felt like our team should have been playing for the whole time at this point.
It sucks to say, but I think we needed that loss to Tempest. And the SoFlo match brought us back together and got us back to our feet.
We had the tags. We did. I feel like I did my part.
Connor just starts bawling. He's so happy. It was so great.
Dexterity has gone on for the first time. Let's go! Listen, you guys had so many ups and downs. What changed for this win?
We're just being smart. We're just executing our game plan, keeping it clean, and just trying to make the tags.
Yeah, same. I think that second loss was really tough for us, so we were able to recompose and then really focus on our game plan as play smart, and that was the key right there. So know what we can do, do what we can do. So
right here as well. What happened to him in the first round, devastating, and we can't just let it just go by. So we had some work to do, and we still have work to do, and we're just going to get it done.
Getting that win was huge confidence boost for me.
We're making a name for ourselves now. We're not just going out in the first round again. So that felt amazing. Riding that high that rest of that night was just unbelievable. We ended up going and grabbing food. We started talking the strategy about Olo because we finally get to try to have our revenge. From the year prior where Olo knocked us out, we now get our chance to take them on again.
We were all confident that we can beat them and we can move on.
this whole thing is a true underdog story. We're this team that lost first last year. We come back in. No one really knows who we are. No one knows what we're capable of. We lose our first 2 matches, then we win 3 in a row. We get to the semifinals.
There was not a better way to end this whole week.
This might happen. This is happening. It